Does it look good, Sophie?
It's looking.
Alright.
Okay. Hello, Friendos. It's Bella from the Bookish Badger, and today I'm coming at you guys with a slightly different video. As you can tell, we're in a different setting. There's no giraffe picture behind me. This is crazy stuff. I have my friends here with me, and we're gonna play a game today. I'm gonna have them guess book plots based on their book covers. You might have seen this video around here before. It's not exactly an original idea, but you know what? Whatevs, Phoebe. We're gonna do it anyway. So this is my friend Kaybee, this is Phoebe, and that's Vossie. So we're gonna get this started. We're gonna work as like it's gonna be a bit of a competition. Whoever gets the closest to the actual book plot is gonna get a point. And I think there are gonna be, let me count how many books. There are gonna be 8 rounds. There will be a tiebreaker book if there is a tie somehow. I don't think there's gonna be a tie, but you know, we'll see.
Do we need a drum roll or something?
Okay, so first book is Eleanor and Park by Rainbow Rowell. Let's go to Kaybee first. Kaybee, what do you think the plot of this book is?
So I know it's in the 80s. And I know that there's they talk about like Tears for Fears or something like that, and like I don't know. I think Eleanor must die or something because Park is like super depressed. He's like on the bus and he's like, Eleanor. So like yeah, it's something like that.
That's a good guess.
Wow.
Well, okay, no, so like,
okay,
Eleanor and Park were friends. It's like Bridge to Terabithia. It's like Eleanor and Park with friends, and then like something happens to Eleanor. That's like drastic.
I'd read that. Phoebe, what do you think the plot of Eleanor and Park is?
The book is completely about just going to a park listening to music.
That sounds like a great plot. Yeah. Solid premise.
There's just, yeah, that's just it.
Hey, Vossie, any guesses?
I think it's 13 Reasons Why the book.
You know, there actually is.
Really?
Yeah. You didn't know that? Yeah,
It's behind you.
Oh yeah, it's somewhere. Wait, hold up.
Yeah, the show's based on a book.
I did not know that.
Bada bing, bada boom, boys.
Ew, gross. Is that? Oh wait, no, it's not the movie.
Okay.
Okay, is that your final answer?
Yes.
That this is 13 Reasons Why the book,
Yes.
even though there's already a
Yes.
13 Reasons
Yes.
Why book?
Yes.
Okay. So, who do you think is the closest? So, I mean, the closest is Kaybee, right?
Yeah.
Even though, okay, so here's the actual plot of Eleanor and Park. Eleanor and Park meet on a bus. They go to the same school, and Eleanor is poor, and everybody thinks she's weird, but her and Park befriend each other. This is Eleanor. This is Park.
Wow.
In case you couldn't
I
guess.
didn't know that.
And
Thank
it
you
does
for
take
clarifying.
place in the 80s. Eleanor doesn't die, but Park is very sad about Eleanor. And I can't say why, because that's kind of like the end of the book.
It's
but
Doki Doki Literature Club, the book.
Every day.
Except it's not. But
Yeah, I
okay.
think we're gonna get Bella demonetized
We-
just by
we
our
are.
existence.
Jokes on you, I'm not monetized. Okay, so this is I'll Give You the Sun by Jandy Nelson. This is the paperback cover, but inside you can see the hardcover cover. So based on this, Kaybee, what do you think the plot of I'll Give You the Sun is?
Alright. So, there are these two brothers. No, there's a brother and a sister. They might be twins. I can't remember. And then, like, one's gay. And then, like, and one's like, and one was like such a pretty girl, and it's like in the future, and she's like, ew, boys, gotta wear my sweater. And then, like, and after she does that, and then there's like pictures and stuff, and then like the brother who's gay, like, I think there's suicide in there somewhere, but like I'm not sure.
I think that's the wrong book.
So you have the wrong
okay.
plot?
No. There's something like this, and there's like something about paintings. I know there's paintings.
Okay.
I know there's paintings.
Phoebe, what is your guess?
It's a love story about astronauts.
Well,
And then
Honestly, I'll Give You the Sun.
and
like,
then the other one of the astronauts professes love to the other one by giving them the sun.
hey, I named this star after you. Did you know that those name the star things are actually fake, and they just give you a piece of paper that say they named a star?
What? I didn't know
Yeah.
that at all.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy.
It's so crazy.
Like, they don't actually name a star after you.
Vossie, what's your guess for I'll Give
I'm
You
gonna
the
leech
Sun?
off of Kaybee's plot again, and I'm gonna say something gay.
Is that your only guess?
Yep.
That's the whole plot. It's something
It's
gay.
something gay.
So I'm gonna give this round again to KB. I think he's got a bit of an advantage because he like loosely knows the plots of a lot of these books. So I'm gonna let somebody else start next time. But so the plot of I'll Give You the Sun is that it's about these twins named Noah and Jude. And it's a dual perspective point book, and Noah tells one side and Jude tells the other. Noah's perspective is in the past, and Jude's perspective is in the future. And in Noah's perspective, when they were younger, Noah and Jude were very close, and then in Jude's perspective, in the future, something happened between them. They're not close anymore. So, like, the whole story is, like, sort of, like a mystery, figuring out what happened between the two. And yes, the brother is gay, and they're twins.
I was right about something at least.
You don't even get a half point.
You know what? I got one aspect of an entire book correct out of the multiple
The entire
aspects.
book is rainbow.
I think
if it's
that,
rainbow.
that is false advertising. Why did someone freaking give someone the sun?
And yes, there is paintings in it, because Noah is an artist. So you're
I'm
the
Noah.
closest. You get another point. So, next book, The Young Elites by Marie Lu. Vossie, would you like to go first this time? Okay.
Sure.
What do you think the plot of The Young Elites is?
So I think it's either a medieval story about someone who's the chosen one, who has to they're like super young, and they have to fight bad guys using friendship. The other thing, shut up.
Into this weird My Little Pony.
Shut up. No, that's
parody.
I was actually linking it more to anime, but okay. So
Saying that
I tried to save you. I'm sorry.
no, there's no saving me. I'm hopeless. My other theory is that it takes place in modern times and they find a sword in a basement. I'm gonna go with my first one then.
Okay.
Thank you, Sophie.
Okay. So, Phoebe, what do you think the plot of The Young Elites is? Take a guess. Any guess.
Young children find a sword and then go on an adventure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Phoebe, what's your theory?
I tried so hard.
Okay, so I have a loose idea of what the Young Elites are, but I don't know the next book, so it's gonna be even. So I'm gonna guess that there's no specified time in the Young Elites, but it's just kind of like this sort of medieval plot, and there's like a bunch of like night people, but they have like quirks. They have like superpowers. So they're like superpowered like night people.
I guess.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I
So-
don't know.
Who's
I
closer?
feel like they each should get a half a point.
Yeah, okay, so KB and Vossie both get half a point, because you both said medieval, and I mean, that's close enough. It takes place in 1348.
Oh.
Yeah, they have quirks. But what's
Quirks.
the night people
Quirks.
thing? I don't understand that.
You've been watching a little bit too much My Hero Academia,
Okay.
haven't you?
Okay.
No.
So here's the actual plot of The Young Elites. So there's this plague, okay? There's this plague that kills a bunch of people, but it also gives a bunch of people powers. And the main character, Adelina, got powers from that plague.
It's like the obelisk from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. It kills people, but it also gives some people powers.
Spoilers.
You know what?
I've seen it.
If you haven't seen Agents
the
of
people at
S.H.I.E.L.D.,
home.
if you haven't seen
You
Agents
edit.
of S.H.I.E.L.D. by now, you're dead to
You
me.
heard that it got renewed for season 7, right?
Oh my gosh.
Yes!
So, and they get powers, and then she runs away from her abusive father and happens
I was gonna
upon
say they would run
this group of people, of youngins, teenagers, who also, in fact, have powers. You still don't get a half point. There's young in the title.
I am offended.
And then they basically try to fight crime and put the crown prince, who everybody thinks is dead, back into power.
I was right. They fight bad guys, and there's a chosen one, and they're young.
Yeah, sure.
I think they're young and they went on an adventure.
I'll give you all a half point. You know
Nice
what?
you.
You know what? y'all are even,
actually-
except you're not because Kaybee has more points than everybody else.
That's only 'cause
He's been reading, like, he actually reads.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I should mention that is that it was kind of hard for me to pick books that I've read that Kaybee also hasn't read because we read a lot of the same books. And Kaybee is a reader, and Phoebe and Vossie are not.
No.
So really, it's more entertaining to see Phoebe and Vossie's
Because I have a
thoughts
loose
on
idea of
plots.
Yes.
That should be a video series. Thoughts
Yes.
on plots. Next book is The Graveyard Book by Neil Gaiman. This is one of my favorites because Neil Gaiman is my all-time favorite author.
Oh, that's
So-
right. I've heard Neil Gaiman before.
Yeah, because I just go around all the time being like, Neil Gaiman! Phoebe, what do you think the plot of The Graveyard Book is?
The main character, somebody dies, and I don't know where I was going with that.
Do you want me to swing back around to you?
Yeah, I don't know where I was going with that.
Okay, Vossie, what do you think the
Yo,
plot
what's
of The
up?
Graveyard Book is?
So I think, well, you said that the plot is not well known, and I was gonna, before you said that, I thought it was gonna be a Halloween book, but now that you said that, I'm gonna say that it's not a Halloween book, and I'm gonna do the complete opposite. I'm gonna say it's a Christmas book. I'm gonna say it's a book about Christmas. I don't know what about Christmas, but it's about Christmas.
It's the night. It's the night.
Kaybee!
Alright, so because it's Neil Gaiman, it's going to be very dry.
Dang!
So it's just going to be a dry book. But it's going to be hysterical because it's dry. It's just because...
He means like dry humor, he doesn't mean like
Oh,
boring.
okay.
Oh.
It's not.
I was about to say, I was waiting for you to like fight back.
Yeah.
And it's also going to have a crap ton of characters. There's just going to be characters and plot points everywhere.
There's gonna be deep lore.
So it's all going to tie back to this graveyard and the inhabitants in the graveyard. That's where I'm going to go with.
I can't believe you don't know the plot. That's actually a really good guess.
Dang it!
Just because Neil, what's the Stardust, the Neil Gaiman book?
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's like that. He just has the style of like every single plot at once with all the characters doing everything that ties back to one thing.
That's actually, you know what, that gets you a point. I feel like I want to minus your half point because you said it's a Christmas book.
Well, you said the plot has nothing to do with the title.
I didn't
Or
say
something
that.
like that. What did she say? She said something.
It's very hard to figure out the plot.
Oh,
but,
okay.
I'm-
Well then, now I look dumb.
Like it's one of those that it's very hard to describe the plot. Like even after you read it, it's hard to describe the plot. So the actual plot of The Graveyard Book is about this kid named Nobody whose parents get killed when he's really young. So some ghost inhabitants of the graveyard near his house take him in and raise him. So he's got like the run of the graveyard. So he's still a human, but he's got like some kind of ghost powers, and he befriends this girl who plays in the graveyard, and like all these like graveyard centered adventures happen, and yeah, it all goes back to the graveyard, and there's a bunch of different plot points and characters and
Yeah.
everything going on.
And
And
it's just Neil Gaiman. Just
yeah.
doing him.
Oh, I love his writing. Okay, next book. This one I haven't actually finished. I'm listening to it on audiobook, and I think I'm 5 hours away from finishing it. But you know, I know the plot well enough. It's Beautiful Creatures by Cami Garcia and Margaret Stoll. I had to look at the author names because I don't even know. Okay, so let's start with Vossie. What do you think this book is about?
So it takes place in a fantasy land.
Okay.
And there are beautiful creatures all over the place.
Okay.
And it's kind of like Pokemon, where they have to where the two people have to, or there's two people and they love each other. They get sent to this this mystical, beautiful creatures realm. And it's kind of like Pokemon, where they have to document all of the creatures.
Is it like Pokemon?
Yeah, that's.
Yeah,
I
it's
literally
like
just said it was like Pokemon.
Like five
It's like
times.
Pokemon.
It's like Pokemon.
No, I'm being ironic.
Is it like Pokemon?
Yeah. No, I'm not being ironic. I'm being dead serious.
Dead serious. Death.
Kaybee, what do you think Beautiful Creatures is about?
Is this my stumbling block? So, after taking a quick look at this this book cover here,
Man.
It's like they're two lovers,
Are you?
and like they're both like cursed, and then like so the both lovers are cursed, and then they have to like slay a bunch of creatures, And like they're called beautiful creatures, but they're not. They're like harpies, and they're like.
Phoebe, what do you think the plot of Beautiful Creatures is?
It's about a bunch of purple creatures.
Purple. Where did you get that idea?
Because it's the hidden
You can do it.
the hidden meaning behind the purple.
Okay.
And some of the creatures fall in love, but then there's like, I don't know if it's necessarily a witch or something, but something curses them, and so they just
can't love each other.
They can't love each other. They can't. Yeah, it's sad. And yeah, so that's why it says what it says on the cover.
Oh, some
It's
of us
like-
are meant to be, others are cursed. That one.
Oh, I didn't see
It's
that.
like
My eyes are terrible.
You're wearing your glasses.
My eyes are terrible.
None of you are really close on this one, so I'm gonna give it to Vossie because
Dang it.
his
that was the one thing that I
His-
actually thought might have been
his
true.
explanation was the one that amused me the most.
Oh, okay. Yeah. See, that's how you win.
What is it like again? What is it like?
I equated it to Pokemon.
Pokemon?
Yeah.
wait, is it like Pokemon?
Yeah.
Is
It is like
Wait,
Pokemon.
so you're telling me
That's gonna be
it's like Pokemon?
It's like Pokemon.
The actual plot of Beautiful Creatures about this guy named Ethan, high school kid, YA book. This girl comes to town. It's like, small southern town. Everybody's closed-minded and jerky, basically. And this girl comes to town, Lena Duquesne, and she is the niece of, like, the town shut-in, like the town's Boo Radley, basically. She's obviously gorgeous, so the main character falls in love with her. And, like, nobody accepts her because she doesn't live in the town. Like, she's an outsider. We don't like outsiders. And they think like bad crap is happening because of her, because, like, tornadoes are coming into town and windows are breaking and crap. And guess what? Fun fact, it is because of her. Because she's this thing called a caster, so she's got magic powers, and, like, the whole book basically is waiting for Lena to turn 16 to find out whether she's going to be claimed by the dark or the light, and she doesn't have... What was that face? She
It's just like sounds very interesting. I may have to pick this up.
She doesn't have, it's not great. She doesn't, and she doesn't have a choice as to whether or not she becomes good or evil. It just, like, happens on her 16th birthday, whichever one, which way, like, claims her.
It's like an arranged marriage.
Next book here is pretty well known on the booktube community, and it is Cinder by Marissa Meyer. And we're taking Kaybee out of this round because he's read this book.
There you go, drink actually.
So I will take his chair.
Okay. Vossie, I'm gonna let you go first on this one.
Nice.
Vossie, what do you think Cinder is about?
I think that it's a story about robots. It's either the main character is a cyborg, or the main character has to help someone who's a cyborg, or replace cyborg with robots. It's one of those.
Okay. Any other details that you'd like to give, or just the cyborg thing?
I think it takes place in the future.
Okay. Anything else?
Nope.
Okay, what about you, Phoebe?
I'm gonna play off of that and say it's like a weird Cinderella parody with robots and all of that in the future.
You know what, you guys?
Yeah.
Y'all are both right. I'm gonna give you both a point because you really didn't say anything wrong.
Yeah, you guys
Right.
got that spot on. Like basically, like for like not knowing anything, that's like.
Well, the robot leg on the
I'm
cover
slowly
kind of gave
getting
it away.
better.
Yeah, I mean, you didn't give much detail, but the detail you gave was in fact correct. So it is a Cinderella retelling, which takes place in the future. And the character, who is the Cinderella character, is named Cinder, and she is, in fact, a cyborg. So next book here is We Were Liars by E. Lockhart. Do you guys
I think I know this
have...
book.
You do?
I think. It sounds familiar.
Okay.
And the name sounds
What do
familiar.
you think is the plot, Voss?
What do I think is the plot? Well, I didn't think as far as to think of a plot for this. So I'm going to give my turn to Phoebe here, who's going to go, and then I'm going to think of a plot while she's going.
Okay. I think it's a breakup story.
Wow,
Okay.
that didn't give me any time at all to think.
Do you want
I'm
to go
not
first, Phoebe?
done!
Oh, she's not done.
Oh, okay. Oh, wait. Phoebe's not done. Never mind.
And they both won't, like, they only see their own side, and so they think that the other one is lying, and so they're just like,
And so we are liars.
we are liars.
Okay.
That's all I got.
Oh no, it's we were liars.
We were liars, so maybe they're not anymore. Maybe there's hope for them.
Okay, so that's your entire idea, Phoebe? Do you still need time, Vossie?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
I'm gonna think of this on the plot because I didn't actually do anything.
You're gonna
I'm
think of it
thinking
on the
whole
plot?
spot. I was thinking, yeah, what?
On
I
the
don't know.
spot.
You said on the plot, but you meant to say on the spot.
So I think these two people who are in love, they're going on a vacation. However, by plane, they're gonna fly to their destination.
Okay.
However, the plane crashes and everybody dies but them, and they land on an island. Okay, and they have to survive on this island. However, they don't get along very well on the island because of what's happening. And the other one says that it's their fault the plane crashed, and so then by the time that they are rescued from the island, they realize how dumb they were, and then they get married.
It sounds like basically what I was gonna say, which is basically Lord of the Flies.
Oh, those are people on the cover.
What?
These were rocks. That's what made me think it was an island, because there were like rock
Well, they're
formations
in the
outside.
water.
They are in the water.
Yes.
This is the back cover.
Oh, it looks like a savannah.
Stop trying to read it.
I read it. Okay.
Disqualified.
Don't read it. I read it.
Okay, but no, honestly, I would go like that. It's like We Are the Flies.
We are the flies.
Wow.
Lord of the Flies, which is probably one of my favorite books ever, so I should probably stop.
We are the fly.
Yeah.
We are the
Flies, my friends.
Now.
We'll keep on flying.
So all y'all wrong. This is a book about a family who is V-rich, and
Okay.
and it's a contemporary novel, so there's no like fantasy elements or anything. The whole extended family has vacation homes on this one private island.
Okay. So I was right about one thing. It was a vacation on an island. I was wrong about the
You didn't say
surviving part.
vacation.
I did. I
You
said.
it was a
I said.
place.
No, you said that they were going on a vacation, but they landed on an island. They crashed.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Well,
That's
So
not the same.
anyway,
surprise vacation.
so the whole family's been like going on vacations on this island for forever, and the cousins are really close and everything, and this is their whole summers and whatnot. And one summer, something goes terribly wrong, but you don't know what it is, and a lot of the book is trying to piece that together, and there's this crazy thing that happens in the book. They'll plot swerve. I guess this goes to Vossie? I guess.
I was the closest.
No.
I had vacations and islands correct.
I guess.
I got a half.
I feel like that meme where it's like everything is either a potato or not a potato. It's like, I guess. What are we up to for points?
I think that
Sophie
makes
left?
mine 2.
2.5.
2.5.
2.5, 1/2, 3.5. Last book is another one that's real popular on BookTube, and that is Illuminae by Jay Kristoff and Amy Kaufman. Kaybee, the field is wide open. For...
I know, and I have a pretty good idea. So
Do you?
like, yeah, I think it might be the winner here.
Wow, so humble.
Should we
So
switch books? I don't know what to switch to though. We
Well,
haven't
I'll
read-
tell you the plot of this book, and if it's like too easy,
If it's
it's too
on
easy
point.
of a steal.
If it's too on point,
So
I'll
like,
change
I know
it.
there's like emails,
And they're all like blacked out, so you have to like piece together information, and then like it's about like conspiracy, like Illuminati, you know. Then why is the cover like an explosion or something? Fire, because you gotta burn all those files that you my shoes are untied. So like there's something that happened in the government. And there's government officials and they're just talking through emails and stuff. But like there's like a hacker group as well and they're looking through it.
Yeah, that's too close. You're too on point.
Yeah.
We're changing our final book here because Kaybee knew the plot of Illuminae files
I knew the
too
plot
well.
of Moxie as well.
And then
all the
then
others.
I went to grab another one from the library, and I was like,
this is what happens
aha,
when
Moxie. And he was like, oh no, I know the plot about that too. And I was like, gosh darn it, Kaybee. So you know what? I grabbed one that I actually haven't read and I just vaguely know the plot of because of BookTube. And I'll see which one's the closest by looking at the inside flap and reading it.
Those black pages are aesthetic.
I know. Okay, last round. Who wants to go first?
Me.
Me. No,
I said me first.
No, I said it first.
Phoebe.
Yes.
What do you think Six of Crows by Lee Bardugo is about?
I think it's about 6 dangerous outcasts and one impossible word that I can't pronounce.
Heist. She's reading the subtitle.
No, you said that we had to guess by the cover. That is the cover.
Okay,
Guys,
but
we're
you have
right.
to add something to it.
We're doing like the thing we're told never to do.
Judging a book by its cover.
So Phoebe, you have to add something else to it. You can't just read what's literally on the title.
They have to fight a bunch of evil crows.
Okay,
6 of them.
6 of them. Where'd you
Okay.
pull that number from?
I
Wow.
don't know.
I'm gonna leech off of Phoebe's plot
Okay.
a little bit.
Okay,
So there's a gang of 6 people, and they're called the Six of Crows.
Okay.
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 And they are going to commit a heist, like the crime of the century, kind of like Gru and the Moon. But it's gonna be the Six of Crows and the bank.
So I'm gonna add to
I'm not done. I am not done. You
Okay.
mongoloid. So yeah, they're gonna commit the heist, but it takes place in like this gothic town thing, and I got that from the whole aesthetic of the book.
Okay, from those black sprayed
Those
edges.
good black sprayed edges.
So basically, Vossie guessed everything that I was going to guess, and I'm livid. So now I have to
Good.
find something else.
Good.
So yeah, there's like a gang, and they're called like the Crows, and like they're pretty big bad, but they have like family struggles, whatever. And it's also in a gothic town, so I'm gonna guess it's like 1800s because that's like gothic high point. And like I'm getting like a whole bunch of like Welcome to the Black Parade's aesthetics here. I'm getting like like
All right, nerd.
Some real MCR vibes.
yeah, I'm getting some eyeliner here. I'm getting like steampunk, like and
Dude,
like
steampunk. Anything steampunk. Good.
good. All right, and then like so then they're in this gothic town. And there's a gang, and they're not committing a heist to a bank.
They're gonna steal the moon.
No, they're going to steal from the rich and give to the poor. So it's kind of like the bank, but it's not really the bank because it's rich people.
So it's Robin Hood.
You're
It's-
a rich girl,
And it's gone too far because it don't matter anyway.
Does anybody want to give any thoughts on specific characters or anything?
Nope.
I'm sure there's like the kid who doesn't want to be in the gang, and then there's like a kid who's like, it's like angry.
Yeah, there's like a
and
tough
edgy.
kid.
He's like angry and edgy, and he's like, we gotta do this for the poor people. And then there's like the leader man, and he's like,
And he's like really honorable.
yeah.
Okay.
And then there's like your nerd, and he's like,
You're nerd.
and he's like,
All right, so
we
guys,
gotta
here's the
calculate
plan.
this, and this to get our plot.
Yeah.
And
The
then
plot
like
of the book.
I'm not sure who the other person is. It'll probably be a girl
There's the
who
clock.
joins like halfway through.
Yes.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, let's read the inside flap here. It says, Ketterdam, a bustling hub of international trade where anything can be had for the right price, and no one knows that better than the criminal prodigy, Kaz Brucker. Kaz is offered a chance at a deadly heist that could make him rich beyond his wildest dreams, but he can't pull it off alone. A convict with a thirst for revenge, a sharpshooter who can't walk away from a wager, a runaway with a privileged past, a spy who's known as the Wraith, a heart trender using her magic to survive the slums, a thief with a gift for unlikely escapes. Kaz's crew is the only one who might stand between the world of destruction if they don't kill each other first.
I actually read the back of this book once, but I don't remember it being this book.
That sounds like a good book.
Well, there's a map. You know that's going to be a
It's-
solid
it's-
fantasy. Solid fantasy. if
I
there's a
want
map.
to read this book.
So who won that round? I guess
Vossie.
it was Vossie. We have a tie currently between Vossie and Kaybee. They both have 3.5 points.
I don't think there's going to be a tie, but you know.
So I'm gonna grab one that I actually don't know even the slightest bit of the plot of. This is actually one that Q from Professor Q's College of Books is reading right now. I don't know anything about this book other than the cover, which I recognize. So, Kaybee, you have the floor. What is Emergency Contact by Mary H.K. Choi about?
Hipster boy, 2018 girl, they contact each other whenever they get into situations that that life throws at them. Like, when life gives you lemons, just contact hipster boy or 2018 girl.
Okay, Vossie, what's your guess?
So, hipster boy here is a drug addict,
Okay.
and he goes to 2018 girl for help, like kind of like a therapy group, but like it's not really a group. It's just these two people, and they fall in love.
Okay.
Oh no, I didn't say that.
Oh, your chance is over. Let's see here. For Penny Lee, high school was a total non-event. Her friends were okay, her grades were fine, and while she'd somehow landed a boyfriend, they never managed to know much about her. Now Penny is heading to college in Austin, Texas to learn how to become a writer. It's 79 miles and a zillion light years away from everything she can't wait to leave behind. Sam's stuck. Literally, figuratively, emotionally, and financially. He works at a cafe and sleeps there too, on a mattress on the floor of an empty storage room upstairs. He knows that this is a god-awful chapter of his life that will serve as inspiration when he's a famous movie director. But right this second, the $17 in his checking account is his dying laptop are really testing him. When Sam and Penny cross paths, it's less meet cute and more a collision of unbearable awkwardness. Still, they swap numbers and stay in touch via text and soon become digitally inseparable, sharing their deepest anxieties and secret dreams without the humiliating weirdness of having to, see each other.
I was right.
Weird.
He is going through, maybe not drugs, but he's definitely going through a tough time, and they have like a therapy group, so I win.
I've been bested by Vossie.
Eat that, nerd.
Oh, this is pathetic.
Okay, we are claiming Vossie the winner. Okay, after our tiebreaker and after reading the description, we're claiming Vossie as the winner. He's the crown champion of this game. Kaybee put up a good fight.
No, he
And
didn't.
Phoebe
It
was amusing.
pathetic.
I was here.
Okay,
Dang.
if we
I
had
occupied this chair.
everyone,
I
round
tried
of
to
applause
shut
for
these
Phoebe.
people.
Everybody, round of applause for Phoebe DVB.
That laugh was so cute.
So,
Okay,
Thoughts?
any final thoughts, anybody?
Yeah, I need to read The Hunger Games again.
Where'd you get the Hunger Games from?
No, this just came to me.
Oh, okay.
I was just thinking about The
Okay,
Hunger
final
Games.
thoughts is you want to read the Hunger Games again. What are your final thoughts, Phoebe?
We're bad at guessing plots, but we made up a lot of really good plots, and we should make a story.
Yes, we
Yeah,
should.
if any of y'all want writing prompts, hit up this video because they're there. What about you, KB? Final thoughts?
Suddenly I'm not half the man I used to be because I was bested by a non-reader, but I'm not
Yeah.
salty about it.
Oh no,
You
No,
seem a
I'm
little
not
salty.
salty.
You
You are
seem
salty.
I'm a little salty, but like,
You're a
You're like
little
the
salty. Dude, McDonald's French fries don't have anything on you.
Alright, you guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I would love to hear from you guys if you're amused by any of our antics, if you're amused by the correct or the incorrect plot guessings, if you're amused by Phoebe mocking me right now, any of it, all of it, please leave it in a comment down below.
And subscribe to me.
And subscribe to Vossie. If you enjoyed this video, do not hesitate to give it a thumbs up. Do not hesitate to subscribe for more content coming soon. And I will see you in the next video. Bookish Badger signing off.